What makes a house a home? We've asked the people of Scotland to enter their houses into Scotland's Home of the Year. Now, our judges are visiting the top 3 from each region, choosing one each week to go through to our national final. Scoring them on architectural merit, distinctive design and original style are interior designer Anna Campbell-Jones.
What I'm looking for in a home is bags of personality, care for the planet, and that most important ingredient, love.
Architect and lecturer Michael Angus.
What I'm looking for in a home is the right building in the right place, compassionately decorated to enhance the lives within.
And guest judge, winner of BBC's Interior Design Masters, Banjo Beale.
I'm looking for a home that is packed full of character and just really well lived in.
This is dreamy, isn't it?
I feel like the queen.
And look, I've already found the heart.
In the end, only one can be Scotland's Home of the Year. Today, our judges are visiting the shortlist in the North East and the Northern Isles. And they're starting with a Victorian renovation in the village of Old Meldrum, a few miles outside Aberdeen. The house is home to Kelly, Scott and their children, Ollie, Lola, Libby and Richie.
I am always full of ideas. I really like houses and interiors, so I've always got things up my sleeve. Scott's usually pretty good at just being able to do it.
I'll come home from work and then it'll be, I've thought of another idea, so tools out again and keep going.
He's very obliging. My family had a garage business and that's where we lived as children. So the house has got a real flavour of my childhood home. We've got lots of different bits and pieces throughout the house that are a bit random, but I love them.
We built the bar at the bottom of the garden in lockdown, so that was quite a challenge, but it's turned out good.
Kept you busy.
Knowing that you've done it all yourself, at the end of the day, it makes you prouder to look back on it.
Feels full of love, I think, our house, totally.
Old Meldrum is a stone-built detached house with a modern extension. The ground floor houses a bedroom, 2 bathrooms and an open-plan living, dining, kitchen space that opens out into a spacious garden. The first floor has the master bedroom, 2 further bedrooms and a family bathroom.
This is our favourite place in the home because we love to sit here and relax, look through the house, look all through the garden and see the nice view and just think about all the hard work we've done to get here.
Armed with only the basic facts about the property, the judges now get their first look at Old Meldrum.
It's absolutely perfect, isn't it? It's incredibly robust, the way that it's been constructed. The stone's all different colours, which makes me think it maybe is local stone.
It's actually been really carefully considered. You can see that it's the different colour of stone has been used in that really traditional way to pick out the window detail and around the doorway.
I would call this a handsome little cottage, don't you think? It's just well put together and sturdy.
I can see a pop of pink in there, and I want to go and check that out.
Let's do it.
Oh, goodness me. Straight away.
Straight there.
Look at this bar top with the heart. That is so cool.
That's a lot of beer they've drank to make that.
I'm surprised it's level.
They're really interesting too. They're not all new as well. I mean, there's some old ones from their travels, Indonesia. I mean, that's a really fun way to kind of display souvenirs.
I was actually more immediately attracted to the steel beam. I must be the architect in me, obviously, but it's still got the reference number on it, so there hasn't been any attempt to sort of dumb it down or polish it up in any way. Very much, I think, in the character of the home.
I'm quite enjoying the really handmade quality of everything. You've got the rough sawn timber there. You've got your bottle caps. You've got a cable tie light here. Everything kind of has the human touch to it.
There's got to be a story behind this. What is it? A thing from the top of a petrol pump, isn't it?
We'll bet you can find the pump later on. I really like this layout of kitchen. I know there's a thing for island units, but I always really rather like kitchens where the space is the priority and there isn't an object in it.
Although it doesn't have an island unit, it's got this peninsula which does serve a similar function. People can sit at the bar the other side and not get in your way, Michael, when you're spatchcocking a chicken.
And I think that's a really cost-effective decision, slapping some paint on these tiles just to freshen it up.
I love that. Jeans wrapped around an ottoman creates a pocket for your remote.
Love that.
I am getting the most amazing perspective on the garden here. I mean, it looked vast from up there, but it is just extending beyond from here.
It's amazing how different this space is, isn't it? It's so much lighter. We've just come down 2 steps from the kitchen where it's quite enclosed and dark. And here we've got this amazing connection to the garden.
I'm loving the tropical kind of motif on the curtains, and I think these people might be accidental interior designers because they've taken that blue colour on the wall, they've carried it through with the fabric pelmet, but they've also painted the niche that dark blue, which just perfectly frames that view outside, so kudos to them.
Oh, gosh, plush carpet. That's exactly the right move. In these loft spaces, you haven't got a ceiling. People never know where to change from the wall colour to the ceiling colour. The solution is just envelop yourself in one tone.
And check out the storage, look. That's great.
Oh, that's clever. No, I think they've just taken something off the shelf, haven't they?
Yes.
And built that in.
And painted them. It's
And
really
painted
clever.
them, frame it all out, and you don't need to get a custom kind of unit built in there. Build it in.
I always sometimes feel quite comfortable in rooms like this. I do often feel as if they're just not for me, I must admit. But just because of the way it's been designed and the low bed and the sort of the symmetry, I don't know, I'm actually feeling quite comfortable in here.
Oh, wow.
This is a lockdown bar.
I love the Sterling board roof. You definitely know you're in a shed.
Plus it also comes with that lovely earthy smell, so it definitely bonds us to the garden, doesn't it?
I wouldn't have picked a wallpaper like this, but it's loud, it's proud, and I really like it. Anything goes.
Kind of ties in with the curtains in the main house, as does this teal blue. So although we're very separate from the main home, it's still connected.
I think that's how you get a drink around here.
How will the judges score Old Meldrum? Michael's mark will be held back until the judges have seen all 3 homes, when their combined scores will be revealed.
I think it's quite interesting when you see the house from the front, it looks like a building that goes this way. And when you go inside, it's a long, thin space with the extension and then the long garden. It's really surprising to find that kind of interior behind that facade. The more I explore this home, the more things I see. There's so many clever little bits of upcycling, pieces of previously unloved furniture given new life with a lick of paint. And it's all done in a very playful way. I'm going to give this home a 9.
It was packed full of personality, lots of objects from the owner's life, and I think they made some really clever little cost-effective design decisions. You don't have to splash the cash to make really great kind of little design moments, and I think they've done that in this house. I think the owners could probably have gone even more crazy with their colour scheme. I think they've went for it in the bar, and I think I would have liked to see a bit more bold pattern and colour inside the house. I'm going to give this home an 8.
I thought this was an absolutely gorgeous home. It felt to me as if every day in this home would be like Sunday afternoon. I wouldn't have this space like this, but whilst I'm here, I feel perfectly at home. And that's quite a testament to the quality of this place. If I were to change anything, I would probably wish for the home to extend even further into the garden, so the garden could come even further into the home, but I'm nitpicking.
Next in store for the judges is a contemporary build just outside St Cyrus in rural Aberdeenshire. Snowdrop House is home to Ross and his partner Emily, Ross's daughter Rebecca, and dog Holly.
I own a property development company and I got planning here for 3 homes. And when we first came up here, I just kind of fell in love with the plot and the views and decided to cancel the 3 houses and design one for the site, for our own home, basically.
Inside, it's definitely the two of us. We could go into a shop and both come out buying exactly the same thing without knowing what each other's chosen. So it's actually been quite easy to do.
There was a lot of design work done with the levels so we could see the sea from the back of the house and the front of the house. Built so many homes, and to do something different and for it to turn out the way it has, yeah, I'm of course proud of it.
Yeah, you should be proud of it.
Split over 2 floors, the ground floor features an open-plan kitchen, dining and living space, a games room, a guest bedroom, 2 bathrooms and a living room. The first floor has the master bedroom and 3 further bedrooms.
So this is our favourite place in the home. It's where we can sit and relax, just the two of us, and take in the view on both sides. And it's also where, if we have a bit of a party, it's where everybody seems to congregate at the end of the night, at the start of the night, and yeah, have a great time.
But what will the judges think of Snowdrop House?
OK, Michael.
I was reminded of an architectural lesson that when in doubt, do a box, or in this case, do 2 boxes, pick one up, turn it around and drop it on the top.
That's a whole lot of glass, and that box is all pointing towards that view. And I mean, if you have that view, you want to make the most of it, don't you?
I'm quite enjoying how the materiality and the volumes are reflecting the agricultural buildings that are just nearby. So shall we see what these boxes look like on the inside?
Do it.
Definitely got kind of Bauhaus vibes, this curved staircase, hasn't it?
Michael, like you.
Happy architect. I love these 3 circular mirrors up the stair, which just create a bit of character in a space that could have been quite soulless.
My instinct would have been that the stair would have gone actually the other way, more with the kind of thrust of the form. But in actual fact, by putting it this way, it's artificially necessitated the curve, but had that been straight, this would be a bit dull.
Straight is dull. I've always said it. What?
Big arrival in a big kitchen with 2 islands.
That's just greedy.
It's really, really something else. This is a whole extra level of fabulous, this kitchen, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm like so confused. I don't even have 1 island. What do you do with 2?
In a sense, it's the scale of the room, isn't it? I mean, look at this. This is cinematic.
I mean, it's really grand space, but I think it's a party house, so this feels really convivial. I can imagine a lot of people, well, not squeezing, quite comfortably swinging about this space.
Oh, found the heart.
Wow. That's really something else, isn't it? What a gorgeous roof light.
Yeah, I mean, that is just dreamy, isn't it? I can totally see why the heart, it would just have to be underneath that roof light. It's one of the big deals in the room, but the biggest deal is that view, which is incredible.
I mean, it's big, but it's comfy, isn't it? It's just a really kind of nice, sociable space. You've got the big sofa, you've got that awesome fireplace, you've got your TV. It's a million miles away, but you're not looking at that because you're staring out there, aren't you?
What an amazing size window to have in your bedroom. And I noticed a really interesting detail there. Instead of the window opening to get fresh air in, the wall opens.
I've seen that before, actually, that piece of opening wall for ventilation in other modernist buildings, but not quite on that scale.
I like that. It's like a little stable door. So if it's like anything like at home on the farm, little cow just strolling past, pops its head in and says g'day in the morning. I think that's really cute.
It's prescient that they've put a bedroom on the ground floor. It future-proofs it for them, but also potentially for any guests that come to stay that prefer not to use the stairs. Time to sweep up the stairs, my darlings.
Gosh, this is a workout.
You would never get tired of waking up to that, would you?
Yeah, That's pretty cool.
This
yeah.
is a master bedroom with a capital My goodness.
It's really nice to see that it's not just the one picture window and you have these alternate views out the side. You're getting these very different kind of aspects.
There's quite a restricted palette in this home of whites and greys and beiges, but it does serve to offset the colourful views through the windows of the countryside and the sea.
There's a lovely little coffee machine over there. Tumble out of bed, make a coffee, sit there, brace yourself for the day.
How will the judges rate Snowdrop House? Anna is holding her score back.
Usually modern homes are my kryptonite. This one, I'm enjoying the mix of stone and wood. I think it's sizable, but each one of the spaces makes sense. I mean, suddenly I want 2 islands now. I really love the connection between the outside. I think it's a bit of a party house, and I can imagine lots of fun gatherings inside and outside, and both spaces work really well together. I'm giving this home a 9.
I really applaud that this home, really tried to embrace the breadth of this landscape. It could have been dwarfed within it, and yet what it's actually doing is contributing to it. Albeit a very large building, I get the sense that people wouldn't feel lost in this home. They would know that they were connected. There's enough identifiable spaces for privacy, and then there's lovely spaces for people to come together. I'm going to give this home a 10.
There's no denying that this is an impressive, modernist-looking home, and it certainly delivers on the spatial volumes inside. I really enjoy the way that the interior spaces are interconnected through the exterior spaces. It feels very sociable. You definitely get the sense that this is a really new home, and it's still accumulating objects. And I think as it accumulates, the acoustics will improve, as well as that sense of home.
The final home in the north is a self-build property in Orkney. Sciara Lida is home to Leslie, her husband Eric, and Newton, their Portuguese water dog.
What we're very, very passionate about is what's outside that window. The interplay of sea and sky here in Orkney that makes the landscape and seascape so dramatic. That has been our inspiration right from the start.
The site came up first, and so then we had to design the house to make the most of the views. It's not an easy process at all. We had a really good online programme. We designed it on, and we could play about with that until we got things exactly as we wanted them. We moved a lot of walls frequently.
Yeah. When you've worked on it yourself, it's something that you really do appreciate more.
We wake up smiling in the morning when you come out into this space. To be able to share that with other people is it's really exciting.
Built over 2 floors, the ground floor features an open-plan kitchen and dining room, a snug study and a shower room. There is also an annex with open-plan kitchen and dining room and 2 guest bedrooms. Upstairs is another open-plan living area, the master bedroom with dressing room and Jack and Jill bathroom, and a guest bedroom.
And this is our favourite spot in the home. I remember back when we just had the foundations of the house, and I would stand on this very spot, pretending to hold a glass of wine, looking out at the amazing view, dreaming about when I would be able to cook and entertain our friends and family. And now that's a reality for us that we love to do.
Time for the judges to get their first view of Sciara Lida.
I'm getting taken back to my student days here because the professor once told me that I should never design my facades like a face. But I actually think it's a rather nice, smiley face welcoming us.
It's interesting, this sort of 2 volumes. One is kind of more house-shaped and the other wedge-shaped, connected with that little corridor. It's clad in a different material.
Well, we can see the sea, and I can't wait to see inside.
Well, shall we go and see?
Let's go.
So we're in that linking space between the 2 volumes.
This definitely allows you to brace yourself before going to the outdoors, doesn't it? It's also giving us this lovely little, secret little spot to get a peek of the view from.
I mean, look at those Orkney chairs, classics, and, you know, a little baby one too.
Oh, that's adorable.
That is just too cute. Okay.
Ooh.
I love the colour of the kitchen. What would you call that?
I think it's brinjal.
Okay, I was thinking some kind of red wine, but I mean, I'm not bougie enough to think of one off the top of my head.
See, I'd just call it deep purple, but you know.
Ah, there you go, rock star.
And you were looking for textures, Banjo, and we've got the sleek matte units, the concrete worktop, oak, rattan. They're really layering them up, and it complements the beautiful scenery outside.
And I've just spotted the heart as well, so.
Okay.
I mean, this makes complete sense. You've got your view, you've got good company. I mean, this is the magic spot.
I mean, I really applaud the insertion of that window there, because you might be inclined just to have those ones, but by having that one, it's allowing the view to have some sort of context. It's as if the home is allowing you to sort of see out the corner of your eye.
And when you look back here, it feels like a very urban kind of moment, but we're in Orkney. They've kind of gone for it with this concrete and dark, moody kind of vibe, and it works.
You can tell they paid a lot of attention when they've been designing this kitchen. These three beautiful pendant lights would not be able to be here if there was a cooker hood. What we've got underneath the heart is a downdraft extraction. So that pulls all the fumes from your cooking down and out and vents to the outside. So you haven't got that ugly eye-level clutter. That's a cool light. You need something like that to occupy the volume, don't you, to draw your eye up.
It's always tricky, I think, knowing how to deal with the gable, and there can be a tendency to think you're just going to glaze the whole lot. I actually think I find it quite reassuring of that big, strong element there, just helping us feel a little bit more enclosed.
I see a little musical spot down there, so a perfect little place to practice the saxophone and impress the neighbours. And, I mean, your seat just got better because that reclines.
Oh,
There's
right.
a button right there.
OK, hold on a second.
I hope it works.
Oh, excuse me.
Heaven is a place on earth. Oh, she's going in.
Excuse the noise.
Oh, I'll see you in the morning.
Wow, very cosy blue bedroom.
And you've got some kind of soundproofing panelling over the bed, which I think is probably meant to emulate the crashing waves outside. And they've brought it right up the top and over the ceiling. So I think it's a really interesting headboard.
Maybe they've done that because they haven't got curtains and they wanted to have a kind of quieter acoustic in here.
I do like the colours they're using in this home. They do seem to blend with the outside, don't they? And even with the artwork, the whole feeling of trying to make the inside of the home relate to the outside.
These recesses either side that the macrame is hanging in are quite interesting. You wonder what came first, the niches or the macrame?
And I mean, we've got, ooh la la, fancy. This is not just a walk-in wardrobe, it's a walk-through wardrobe. The catwalk. I mean, that's really good use of space. I quite like that. Walk straight through to the bathroom.
Oh, so the master ensuite is also a Jack and Jill for the main social space. That's very clever use of space.
We've got bath and roof light in perfect harmony here, haven't we? Imagine being in there at night, just looking up at the stars. Beautiful.
And they've got more niches as well for displaying their artwork.
Can't have too many niches.
I'm loving this lilac-y, soft pink on the walls. It's referencing, I think, that colour from the kitchen downstairs, and there's a nice contrast to the blues that we've got in the main space.
Maybe the heather. Is it heather?
Oh.
Am I giving you paint colour names?
Heather.
A light heather.
What will the judges score Sgéir Alida? Banjo is holding his mark back.
This home made me think a lot about thresholds. The building was set back from the street. It was then acting as, in a sense, almost a threshold between the land and the sky. But most dramatically, it was the threshold between the inside and the outside. I found some of the movement maybe a little bit awkward, perhaps, but that's not to say that the journey was not a rewarding one at the end of the day. I'm going to give this home a 9.
It always cheers me up when homeowners make bold colour choices in their home, and the colours in this home connect but also create really different atmospheres. Quite a lot of the surfaces in this home are hard, and they've ameliorated that with acoustic panels in a number of the spaces. I think it would be good to see some soft furnishings, curtains, something to soften the space more. I'm going to give this home a 7.
Well, this is a proper modern island home, and I think it's all oriented towards that view. And I can imagine just going down to that water, catching a fish, get some oysters, bringing it back to this chef's kitchen, cooking up a storm, hosting your friends. It really works as a kind of island home that's all about that view. So for me, I really enjoyed it. It's not all to my taste, but I think it's a family home that's kind of showing themselves with some of their choices, and I like that.
Now that the judges have seen all 3 homes, the final scores can be revealed. First, it was Old Meldrum, just outside Aberdeen.
This adorable cottage filled with upcycled family fun. I gave it a 9. Banjo gave it an 8. Michael, what did you think of it?
I mean, I totally agree. I thought it was just completely adorable from the outside. What really surprised me is as soon as you came through the door, you just got a completely different spatial experience, and that drive all the way through to the garden at the back, plus those beautifully curated objects within. So I gave Old Meldrum 10.
Ooh, well, that's a flying start. Old Meldrum gets 27.
Wow, that is a great score.
Next, Snowdrop House in Aberdeenshire.
It's this spectacular modernist masterpiece in the middle of the countryside, which Banjo gave a 9 to, and Michael gave a 10 to. Not surprising.
No surprise there.
I thought it was amazing. I mean, it was so impressive, and the way that the volumes interconnected and the way that you could communicate between the spaces. I thought it was a really spectacular family home, and I gave it a 9, which gives Snowdrop House 28.
Excellent.
And finally, Sciara Lida in Orkney.
This upside-down home with this stunning view across Orkney. So Michael gave it a 9, and I gave it a 7. Banjo, what were your thoughts?
Well, fantastic little family home, amazing view, and I love those recliners as well. I gave it an 8.
Okay, so that gives Sciara Lida 24.
Another good score.
So our finalist for the North East and Northern Isles is Snowdrop House.
Well, as a modernist monument in the landscape, I am delighted.
So it's a very worthy finalist.
Snowdrop House wins in the North East and Northern Isles and is one step closer to being Scotland's Home of the Year. Next week,
Ooh la la.
the judges are in Central
This is my dream.
as the search continues for Scotland's Home of the Year.